Knights and Bellingham Bells. A warm and amazingly stuffed family press box comes back to the plate with a 2-0 pitch, and that's in there for a strike. Elijah Hainline leading off at shortstop for Bellingham. Jared Buhanda batting second. Cole Hainline hit foul to the play. 2-2. The Jared Buhanda to 7. Surviving a strong or succumbing back-to-back punch-outs for Jaden Harris to open this middle game of Beaver. But to a man, the coaches said Thorstensen has the most raw power of anyone on the Oregon State club. So that's good power. 2 balls and a strike to Justin, a very affable young man that look forward to seeing and looks to be making a big mark with the Beavers, maybe as a 2 pinch runner, and then ended up getting at bat in the game, is inside, ball 1. 1-0 to Jonah. The 1-0 pitch from the right-hander, but he's been swinging it very well in the summer of 2022. Second on the club in RBIs. He chops one toward third. Slowly, the Knights would win the clean. After losing, trailing the entire game last night until finally pulling him of the ninth. Didn't have was Kiko Romero finding his way aboard. 2 down, nobody on. Kiko worked to count. This ball is well struck to deep right center field off the bat of Jacob Schroeder. The ball off the middle of the fence. Schroeder digging for 3 with a carry. Schroeder to deep right center field. A nice piece of hitting. And that gives an opportunity for Toussaint Bythewood, starting the evening at 286 with a homer and 6 runs batted in, gets his first triple as a Bellingham Bell. It cut the Knights' lead in half. Bythewood, right-handed hitter. Out of the stretch works Jaden Harris. Comes to the plate. It is nice to see Toussaint Bythewood making his own. Film directors and writers in Hollywood. The pitch on the way to Bythewood, hit foul down the right field line. Holds the runner. Jacob Schroeder at third. We'll have more on Bythewood as this ball game goes along. But Toussaint, with television shows and films to their credit. In fact, Toussaint's father, inspired by one of the great directors ever in John Sayles, 8 Men Out and Matewan. What a genius Sayles is, and the Bythewood family, I'm sure, has been influenced greatly by the work of Sales, and they've done their own. This is a high pop, fair ball, caught back in fair territory with the wind pushing it. Field line caught by Ethan Lovelace to hold Schroeder at third on the foul ball, and the ensuing pitch, Ty Saunders stayed with it and caught it, and Bellingham comes up empty. No runs, a hit, one left at the end of 1.5. The Knights 2 and Bellingham nothing on 1240 Joe Radio.
Have you ever heard of the move?
Of it here. Titus Dumitru hit what appeared to be a line drive base hit back up the middle. Gavin Schultz ranged to his right. I'm going into a Waite Hoyt act here. Waite Hoyt, one of the great Hall of Fame pitcher, but then went into broadcasting, and what he did in the 30s, he would wait for the play to end and then tell you kind of what happened. So that's what I'm doing now. Titus Dumitru hit a ball back up the middle that looked like it was going to be a base hit. Gavin Schultz, who was playing him up the middle, was able to range to his right, got on top of it. His throw a little low, and Cole Hage, the first baseman, didn't catch it. But Dumitru, who should have been out, should have had a base hit, should have been out, rounded first on his way to second, but the catcher, Jacob Schroeder, doing his job, backed up the overthrow and threw to shortstop Elijah Hainline, who applied the tag. One away. Ethan Lovelace, with a count of no balls and 2 strikes, takes a little bit high. Cody Del Vecchio turning his back on home plate in frustration. He thought he threw a good pitch for a called third, but instead it's 1-2 to Lovelace. 2-0 Knights, bottom of the second. Big windup for Del Vecchio, comes to the plate and misses down and away. 2 balls and 2 strikes. So the out, in a sense, goes 4-3-2-6 on Dumitru. Now the 2-2 pitch to Lovelace. He gets a piece of it, fouling it straight back. 2-0 Knights, bottom of the second inning, on the strength of the 2-run home run by Eli Kennel last inning. Baseball giveaway night tonight has been presented by Horesco Chiropractic, our presenting sponsor, the corner of 7th and Harrison here in Corvallis, for 33 years serving our community. The 2-2 changeup, swung on and missed, strike 3. Nice pitch from the right-hander Cody Del Vecchio. 2 down, and Jake Lightgood, the batter. Jake, the right-hand hitting catcher, stepping in with 2 down. Now last inning there were 2 down and nobody on, and the Knights, behold, scored 2. A walk to Kiko Romero, followed by the 2-run home run by Eli Kennel. The first pitch to Jake, swung on and missed, 0-1 the count. Jake, trying to get it going offensively, has done an excellent job back of the plate. Just 1 for 10 in the early part of the summer. He swings and is jammed and rolls one slowly Hainline's way. Elijah's got to hurry. He does, and throws out Jake. And the Knights go in order in the second. After 2, on a warm, breezy summer night in the Mid-Valley. The Knights 2, the Bells nothing on 1240 Joe Radio. The right-hand hitting center fielder for the Bellingham Bells. Daniel will be followed by Elijah Hainline and then Jared Buhanda. Harris kicks and comes to the plate, and the fastball is up and in on Jernan. 1-0 to Daniel. Jernan, the center fielder, at 226, a couple of homers and 9 runs batted in. The 1-0 pitch pulled foul past Coach Giesland and down the line. 1-1 to Daniel Jernan. The battle of the division leaders again. Bellingham taking game 1 last night in 11 innings to improve to 14-4, 3.5 up on Kamloops in the north. The Knights saw their lead cut to 1 as they dropped to 11-2. Bend won its game. The Elks within 1 game of the Knights in the south. Breaking ball in there for a strike, and the count 1-2 to Daniel Jernan. Elijah Hainline on deck. Jaden back to the plate. Breaking ball chased and missed. The pitch was in the turf. Jake Lightgib throws to Kiko Romero for the strikeout. 1 away. And Elijah Hainline will come to the plate. The 3rd strikeout for Jaden Harris. He opened the game with strikeouts of Hainline and Buhanda. Now Elijah gets a second opportunity here. Elijah Hainline out of Spokane and playing at Washington State. Had a very good year for the Cougs. Good ball player. Harris to the plate. Starts him with a fastball low and in. Ball 1, 1-0. 1 o'clock tomorrow afternoon. We had a game last year, I can't remember against whom, but it ended up being 102, 103 before the day was over. The pitch on the way, fouled at the plate. Sean Weiss's folks are here. Did you guys sit that one out last year when we had, were you here? Yeah, we moved the game to 10 a.m. to try to stay out of the 100-degree heat, but we saw it, I think, before the day was over. 1 ball and 1 strike, the count to Elijah Hainline, so mid-90s expected tomorrow. The pitch on the way is hit over my head into Urchin Alley, and the count goes to 1 ball and 2 strikes. And there are some urchins already in place down there who've gotten themselves a souvenir. The lights are on a beautiful evening for baseball again. After a rough start in that respect, it looks like summer has indeed arrived. Breaking ball lifted to right and deep. Back goes Lovelace. Has a play, drifting back just shy of the warning track. Reaches up to make the catch. 2 down. Jared Buhanda, who struck out in the first, will be the batter. I'm a little surprised that my beloved family members, many of them, family and friends, want to float the river tomorrow. Now, I realize that we've been pining for that great activity. Many a summer over the years, Corvallis Knights players have used our home as sort of a launching point for a big float, and if they don't have any other options, we'll certainly proffer that again here in the summer of 2022. The pitch to Buhanda fouled at the plate. No balls and 1 strike to Jared, who struck out in the first. We have many tubes. I know because I spent most of the day blowing them up for the float tomorrow, which I'm dubious about in that, yeah, it may be 93 degrees, but there haven't been many warm days, and that water has got to be still awfully cold, and yet everybody wants to go in. So, okay. A 1 o'clock game will allow me to catch up halfway down. No balls and a strike to Jared Buhanda. Jaden Harris bounces his 0-1 pitch. 1 ball and 1 strike. 2 down, nobody on. Top of the third, 2-0 Knights. Eli Kennel, a 2-run homer in the bottom of the first, his second as a Corvallis Knight. 1-1 to Buhanda out of the bright sunshine. Jaden Harris kicks and delivers into the shadows, fouled by Buhanda off his front foot. And he hobbles around a little bit, trying to walk off the pain as the count moves to 1 ball and 2 strikes. Buhanda from Cal State Bakersfield, in a hometown of Upland in Southern California. 1 ball and 2 strikes to Jared. Cole Hage on deck. Jaden Harris trying to retire the side in order for the first time. The right-hander from the University of Utah to the plate, and the breaking ball misses down and in. Ball 2, 2-2. The Knights playing the Springfield Drifters after the game tomorrow, ending the homestand briefly. It's a 3-game series with 1 in Springfield, 1 back here, and then game 3 back in Springfield. The 2-2 pitch to Jared Buhanda misses. Ball 3, 3-2. Harris to the plate and loses Jared Buhanda. Ball 4. He was ahead 1-2, and Buhanda does a nice job to draw the walk, get on base for Cole Hage. Cole a 2-out single in the first inning. Harris is yet to retire the side in order, with Cole Hage about to step in. Cole Hage from Fargo, North Dakota, and took his talents to Columbia College and had a big year for Columbia. Physical, really physical-looking hitter as he stands in against Jaden Harris, who comes to the plate. Breaking ball misses down and away. Ball 1, 1-0. 2-0 Knights, top of the third inning. Trying to maintain their 1-game edge over Bend. A new playoff format is in place for the new look West Coast League here in 2022. The Knights have made the playoffs every year since they moved to Corvallis. Fastball for a strike, a back pick down to first. Jared Buhanda gets back safely. Buhanda is 3 for 5 in stolen bases. The Bells lead the West Coast League in steals with 38. The Corvallis Knights actually tied after last night's ball game in that category, also with 38. It's a big part of the offensive attacks of both of these teams. Jaden Harris out of the stretch, 1-1 to Cole Hage. Delivers low and in, ball 2, 2-1 to Cole. 4 teams from each division. There are 8 teams in each division. 4 teams from each will make the playoffs. The number 1 seed will play the 4 seed, the 2 versus the 3 in a best-of-3 format in those series. Then the 2 teams that emerge from that round will play each other for a 1-game divisional championship. The 2-1 pitch, a line drive to center field. Advincula moves over and makes the catch, and the inning is over. Good contact for Hage. but he's an out, and then the winners out of those rounds will have a one-game championship to settle the 2022 West Coast League title. No runs ahead, a man left after 2.5. The Knights 2 and the Bells nothing on 1240 Joe Radio.
That looked dangerous. Are you okay? Are you okay?
Yeah, no, that's the room. That's the room.
Good.
The 1-0 pitch down and away. 2 balls and no strikes. My wife outside trying to get in, and the ticket isn't there. So now trying to multitask here with Becerra taking the 1-0 pitch. Down and away, 2-0, and the 2-0 pitch missing. 3 balls and no strikes. Fastball outside. A 4-pitch walk to Timo Becerra to open the bottom of the third. Jonah Advincula, the hitter. Jonah, a comebacker in the bottom of the first inning. Advincula has a look at Brooke Knight in the third base box, the 14th year skipper, recognized for his excellence in leading the Knights to 5 straight championships, 8 overall. A video ceremony recognizing the 2021 Corvallis Knights, who are back here in 2022 looking for a 6th straight. Up there to bunt. Advincula bunts it foul to the left. No balls and 1 strike. 2-0 Knights, bottom of the third inning. And Brooke Knight does indeed believe in the short game. He hasn't practiced it as much in 22 as in other summers. Only 5 sacrifice hits so far for the Knights. Jonah does not have one of them. Bellingham didn't attempt one in the 11-inning game last night, and they have 1 on the season through 18 games. Jonah not bunting, takes a strike. And the count now 0-2 on Jonah. With Timo Becerra, the runner at first base, drawing the leadoff walk. Timo's not attempted a stolen base. He's held on by Cole Hage. The strike 2 pitch, Jonah gets a piece of it to stay alive. It remains no balls and 2 strikes. Okay, Bree said she would leave one. Okay, that's about all I can do with that right now. The strike 2 pitch, a check swing tapper foul back of third. Ty Saunders. And staying up there Jonah Advincula. Oh, 0-2 the count. We've got some analytics on the home run, by the way, from the Knights analytics team. The strike 2 pitch on the way, lifted foul to the left and out of play. The exit velo on the home run for Eli, according to the analytics squad, Riley Larson and company, 102 miles per hour. They said that it went 415 feet. Now, I'm a little skeptical about that. It was well hit. The strike 2 pitch on the way, hit off the end of the bat to the third baseman Saunders. He goes to Schultz for 1. The throw back to first, not in time, in fact goes by Cole Hage, but again backed up by Schroeder. The out recorded at second base on the fielder's choice 5-4. Advincula with good wheels was not about to be doubled up on a ball that he hit fairly slowly. Advincula has 5 stolen bases on the summer, 1 shy of the team leader, Spencer Scott, who has 6. Jonah has been caught 3 times. Timo Becerra erased on the fielder's choice 5-4. And now Spencer Scott, the batter, a throw to first, and a good move by Cody Del Vecchio, just getting back safely Jonah Advincula. Jonah will certainly be warned in the sense now that this right-hander, Del Vecchio, possesses a good move. Advincula from Santa Clara, California, University of Redlands. Fastball up and in, ball 1-0. His mother, Carol, I don't know if she's still in the ballpark. I saw her coming in here a couple of nights ago, and she apprised me of Jonah's situation with his wrist, with her expectation that he would be able to play again soon, and she was absolutely right. The 1-0 pitch, breaking ball strike from Cody Del Vecchio, and that evens the count at 1-1. In fact, that was just last night, and he did end up playing in last night's ball game. Good to see him back in, getting over the wrist injury. He was off to a very good start. 1 ball and 1 strike. Cody Del Vecchio out of the stretch, delivers, fastball just outside to Spencer. Ball 2, 2-1. 2-0 Knights, bottom of the 3rd inning. Eli Kennel, according to the analytics, a 415-foot homer. He got all of it. So I'm just going to trust those numbers and know that Eli Kennel got every bit of it for the 2-run blast. Spencer Scott, a line drive base hit to left field. Advincula round second, on his way to third, and he will get there. And on the throw all the way to third, good bit of base running by Spencer Scott, who takes second. And so the Knights have runners at second and third and 1 out. Spencer Scott with a single to left and goes to second base on the throw, coming back in. Advincula all the way to third, and no hesitation. That ball was hit well by Scott and enough toward the gap into the left of Bythewood, the left fielder. Toussaint chose to throw all the way to third, really had no shot to get Advincula. And so the Knights take advantage of that decision and have runners at second and third for Kiko Romero and 1 out, trying to add to their 2-0 lead. The pitch misses inside to Kiko. A very important plate appearance in this ball game for Kiko in the first inning. With 2 down and nobody on, he coaxed a walk from Cody Del Vecchio, and that enabled Eli Kennel to come to the plate, and Eli hit his 415-footer. The 1-0 pitch. Fastball just misses. Ball 2, 2-0 to Romero with Kennel on deck. Jonah Advincula at third base, Spencer Scott at second. Kiko Romero looking to drive them both in, or at least get one with a fly ball. He takes the breaking ball down and in for ball 3, 3-0. The breeze is picking up again, blowing out towards center field. We've had some real high wind gusts in the last hour and a half or so. 3-0 the count to Kiko. He was green lighted, but he takes a strike. He certainly had the green light and took a fastball on the outer half. 3 balls and a strike to Kiko Romero. The infield at normal depth for the Bellingham Bells. Cody Del Vecchio working from the stretch, second and third, one out. The right-hander ready. The 3-1 pitch hit high and deep to right. Back goes Buhanda to the track, to the fence. Kiko hits it out. So long. A 3-run homer for Kiko Romero. The Knights lead it 5-0. Kiko Romero's second home run of the summer. He hit 7 last year in helping the Knights win the 2021 West Coast League Championship. That ball kept carrying and carrying. Breezes blowing that way towards center and right center, and that ball off the scoreboard in the alley in right center field. Eli Kennel, who hit a 2-run home run in the first inning, steps in for the Knights, who enjoy a 5-0 lead after playing and slogging through last night, most of the night from behind. Finally pulling even with 2 runs in the bottom of the ninth inning at 7, only to lose in 11, 8-7. Like this experience much better. Up 5-0 now in the third. Eli Kennel, first ball swinging, rolls it foul outside of first. No balls and a strike to Eli, his second home run of the summer in his first at-bat tonight. Takes a fastball in there for strike 2. 0-2 the count. Kiko Romero off the scoreboard to light it up to the tune of a 3-run jack. We'll get the analytics, I hope, here in a moment on that. 102 miles per hour, the same exit below. That one, 389 feet, according to the Knights analytics team. Good to have that information. Thanks, Riley. The pitch on the way, a check swing, no swing for Eli Kennel, and the count even at 2 balls and 2 strikes. The analytics world that we're in, it's an important one, and all programs use it. The Knights have had it now for a couple of summers, and Mitch Canham and his staff and all of the staffs in the Pac-12 have an analytics team. I'm sure most of the Power 5 teams do. Maybe most Division I teams do nowadays. The pitch to Kennel, swung on and missed, strike 3. 2 down, Logan Johnstone, the hitter. The thing that I like about the analytics world, I'm not heavy into it. I don't study a lot of the numbers. I know that coaches have their own way. Mitch Canham, Rich Dorman, Darwin Barney, Ryan Gibson, they all take a look at the reports they get on a daily basis. Logan Johnstone pulls one foul towards Coach Ed Nags, 0-1 the count. The thing I appreciate most of all about the analytics world is the opportunities it's created in the industry for young people to find a path and an avenue to climb to the major leagues and be part of an analytics team there. It's so big at the major league level, and the opportunities these young people have to experience it in the summer and in the springs help get them to where they want to go in a different part of the baseball experience in the modern era. Logan Johnstone, a 2-hopper to the right of Gavin Schultz. He goes and gets it and throws out Logan Johnstone. But the Knights get a 3-run homer here in the third off the bat of Kiko Romero. And at the end of 3, the Knights 5 and Bellingham nothing on 1240 Joe Radio. Nights, 5 runs, 3 hits, and no errors. Bellingham, no runs, 2 hits, and 1 error. Jaden Harris to Justin Thorstensen. In the first pitch to the Oregon State left-hander, misses high and away. 1-0 the count. Justin Thorstensen, the DH tonight for the Bells. Gavin Schultz on deck, Jacob Schroeder to follow. Harris back to the plate and misses down and in. Ball 2, 2-0. 5-0 Corvallis in the fourth, trying to get this series even. Bellingham with 3 consecutive series sweeps coming into this one and took game 1 last night. They won 10 straight. Thorstensen, a ground ball to second under the glove of Eli Kennel into shallow right field. Eli did not square it up. He was trying to field the ball kind of side saddle, and in so doing, if he gets in front of it, it is one of the oldest bits of counsel you hear from day one. Get in front of the ball. And he chose to kind of side saddle it. Had he squared it up, he could have played it off his chest if he had been in front of the ball. Instead, the ball goes under his glove for an error to open the top of the fourth inning. Gavin Schultz, the hitter. Gavin tried to check his swing, but takes a strike anyway. 0-1 the count on the good slider from Jaden Harris. 5-0 Knights, top of the fourth inning. Schultz grounded out to shortstop Spencer Scott on the first pitch that he saw from Harris in the second inning. No balls and a strike. The Knights playing Schultz to go back up the middle. He has the 4 and 6 hole at his disposal. He takes the strike one pitch as Gavin low and in. 1 ball and 1 strike the count. Gavin Schultz, a long journey for his summer experience from New Orleans and Tulane. Schultz hit .255 with 2 homers for Tulane this spring. The right-hand hitter awaits Jaden Harris with the Knights leading 5-0. Swings and fouls it straight back. 1-2 the count. The Knights with a pair of homers tonight. A 2-run blast from Eli Kennel in the first. Kiko Romero a 3-run homer in the bottom of the third. Now Jaden Harris just trying to shake off the miscue to open the top of the fourth inning. Ahead to Schultz, 1-2. Comes to the plate and bounces the off-speed pitch. 2-2 the count. Jacob Schroeder, the on-deck hitter. Two balls and 2 strikes the count. Justin Thorstensen aboard on the error, held on by Kiko Romero. Harris out of the stretch. Jaden's 2-2 pitch. Swung on and missed for strike 3. 1 away. Jaden Harris getting his 3rd strikeout. 4th strikeout, pardon me. He had 2 to open the game, and the batter will be Jacob Schroeder. Schroeder tripled off the middle of the 8-foot fence in right center field in the second inning with 1 out. And then a nice job by Harris and the Knights defense to get out of it with Schroeder left stranded at third. He swings and hits a line drive. Base hit does Schroeder into left center field. Thorstensen to second. Advincula throws the ball back into the cut man, Spencer Scott. Thorstensen takes third. Runners at the corners and 1 out. Jacob Schroeder is 2 for 2. And the Bellingham Bells, who scored 4 unearned runs last night in their 8-7 win over the Knights in 11 innings, have a chance to get one here with 1 away. Toussaint Bythewood comes to the plate. Mention that Toussaint's folks are filmmakers. And I do not have time to go over all of their credits, but Toussaint's father, Reggie, has worked on shows called A Different World, New York Undercover, a very good run. And his mother, Gina, directed a film I loved, The Secret Life of Bees. Excellent film, and the kid who's at the plate right now, Toussaint Bythewood, his mom directed it. That's pretty good company to keep. Toussaint takes a breaking ball strike, 0-1 the count, and we'll get a chance to see him in Pac-12 action in the days to come. He's a commit to John Savage's program at UCLA. 0-1, Bythewood at the plate with runners at the corners and one out. 5-0 Knights in the fourth. Out of the stretch works Harris. Jaden delivers low, good block by Lightgeb. 2 balls and a strike to Toussaint, who glances at Coach Gieselin outside the third base box. And we'll see if Jaden can throw a double play ball, perhaps. The Knights infield at double play depth. Runners at the corners, one out. Jaden Harris still coming out of the sun into the shadows, ties up Toussaint, who swings and doesn't get it. 1 ball and 2 strikes the count. Toussaint fouled out down the right field line in the second with 1 out and a runner at third. A good catch by Ethan Lovelace. And the runner at third, Schroeder, chose to stay put at third. A little surprised at that he didn't try to make a tag and come to the plate. 1-2 the count to Bythewood. Jaden Harris comes set, delivers a check swing on the fastball down and in. Ball 2, 2-2 to Toussaint. Bythewood went to Harvard Westlake High School in the Southland and will stay home for his collegiate baseball experience, but a long way from home in beautiful Bellingham for his summer. 2 balls, 2 strikes, 2 on and 1 out. 5-0 Knights in the fourth. Jaden Harris out of the stretch. And the right-hander ready, comes to the plate, got him swinging. The pitch was down in the turf and heading to second base on the wild pitch, strikeout, goes Jacob Schroeder. But Toussaint does fan for the second out of the inning. Ty Saunders, the batter.
What's up, Diane?
Is there a double header tomorrow? Okay, I just need to let our staff know. And
Yeah.
I figured you were the one to go.
There won't be.
Yeah. Now, Diane coming up from the staff here asking me a question. And as Ty Saunders comes to the plate, and that wild pitch strikeout dislodged something on the home plate umpire's mask. And so Jake Lightgib going to work to try to repair the damage. Certainly Jake knows the equipment with a mask of his own and the flap developed by Steve Yeager. And I think it's been fixed, so the umpire can carry on his important duties. Ty Saunders' first ball swinging in the second inning. Popped out to Knights third baseman Timo Becerra. The Knights infield now at normal depth. The pitch to Saunders, first ball swinging, a line drive, base hit to center. Thorstensen scores, Schroeder right behind him to score, and the Knights have given up 6 unearned runs in this series. It's now the Knights 5 and Bellingham 2, with Ty Saunders making the Knights pay for the error that opened the frame. And that'll bring to the plate Daniel Jernan, who struck out in his first at-bat. 5 strikeouts for Jaden Harris, but not able in the end to pitch through the error that opened the inning. Pitch through it unscathed, and the Bells on the board as they try to follow the path that the Knights showed last night. Down 7-1 in the fourth inning. The Knights eventually rallied to tie in the ninth and force extra innings before falling 8-7 in 11. 5-2 Knights. The pitch to Jernan hits slowly towards third. Becerra charges, gloves, and throws to first to retire the side. But a nice job by Bellingham. The Knights left the door open with the error to open the frame, and the Bells make the Knights pay. They pick up 2 runs in the frame at the end of 3.5. The Knights 5 and Bellingham 2 on 1240 Joe Radio. a recurring theme. 6 unearned runs allowed by the Knights in the series. Uncharacteristic baseball on their part. They still have a 5-2 lead as we go to the bottom of the 4th. A new pitcher in for the Bellingham Bells. Right-hander Ryan Lynch, who originally signed a 10-day contract out of Earl Averill Country, Snohomish, Bellevue Community College. And he'll go to work on Titus Dumitru, our pregame show guest. Dumitru had an odd at-bat in the second inning, ended up being thrown out 4-3-2-6. He takes the first pitch for a strike from Ryan Lynch, the new pitcher taking over for Cody Delvecchio in the bottom of the 4th. Ryan's breaking ball is in there for strike 2. Ryan 6'3", 180. Bellevue Community College. A lot of 10-day young men end up sticking, and we hope that that's the case for Ryan. He comes back with the 0-2 pitch and misses. 1 ball and 2 strikes the count. Ryan is making his 5th appearance, and he's pitched well. 6 innings, 2 hits, 2 runs both earned, 4 walks and 6 strikeouts. The 1-2 pitch on the way, swung out and missed for strike 3. Off speed, Dumitru out in front, down he goes. Ethan Lovelace, the batter. We have a young man named Elijah, our Benton County Schools Credit Union, is doing the honors and sounding well prepared, confident and solid in announcing the Knights up to bat in the inning. We had a sweet moment with a young man before the game. The pitch to Lovelace hit high and deep to right field. Back on the ball. Over the fence it goes again. Gavin Schultz and Gohonda say so long again. The 3rd home run of the night for the Corvallis Knights. Ethan Lovelace loses his helmet halfway between first and second. He was digging for a possible extra base hit, and the ball carrying in the breeze tonight. That one carried just over the 8-foot fence below the scoreboard. A solo shot, and the Knights now lead it 6-2 with Ethan Lovelace hammering over the right field fence just under the scoreboard in left. Good swing for Ethan, and the Knights get one of the runs back. Ryan Lynch to the plate. Breaking ball, check, swing, strike to Jake Lightgeb. 0-1 the count. 3 homers on the night for the Knights, who came into the game having hit 2 through their first 13 games this season. The strike 1 fastball on the corner knee high. Strike 2 to Lightgeb. Jake grounded to short in his first at-bat. Lovelace with his first home run of the summer. The Knights have hit 3. A 2-run homer, a 3-run blast, and now a solo shot from Lovelace. Lightgeb a ground ball to short. Good hop for Elijah Hainline, who fields and throws across to first for the out. Lightgeb retired. 2 away, and Timo Becerra will be the batter. Jack Van Remortel is now playing first base for the Bells. I'm not exactly sure the why and the wherefore of that, but indeed he is in the ball game. The first pitch to Timo Becerra, who walked in his first plate appearance, is in there for a strike. 0-1 the count. Ryan Lynch in his first inning of work comes back to the plate. The strike 1 pitch hit off the end of the bat by the mound toward second baseman Gavin Schultz, who throws to Jack Van Remortel for the out, and the inning is over. Ryan Lynch gives up the 1-out solo shot to Ethan Lovelace, and we are through 4. Good job by Elijah, and I'll tell you the story about what happened in our pregame tonight. It was a sweet moment and good on Brook night and the Knights. At the end of 4, we'll get to that when we return. The Knights 6 and Bellingham 2 on 1240 Joe Radio.
Oh, okay. Thank you.
We can give our junior announcer a hand. What's that? Oh, I've been replaced. High School's Credit Union for sponsoring our junior announcer.
At Starker Forest, we grow forests, not just trees. Since 1936,
Okay.
our forests have been producing clean air and water, wildlife habitat, renewable wood products, beautiful views, and recreation for our local communities right here in Lincoln County. As members of the American Tree Farm System, our forests are certified to be both sustainable and healthy. It's what we do and what we've always done. Starker Forest, growing forests, not just trees.
So Jake did come back out? Okay. Was he?
Now that is for the Bell's shortstop number 2, Eliza Hainline.
Well, I'm not seeing the phone call come in, but I'm going anyway, as Alec Baldwin said, and Glenn Gary, is everybody here? Okay, I'm going anyway. And then he delivered the speech. 6-2 as we go to the fifth in a very entertaining motion picture. Funny. I try to tell people it's funny. It's a comedy more than anything else. No, it's dark, it's deep, it's depressing. Yeah, but it's funny. Now, in the fifth inning, Elijah Hainline, with a count of 1 ball and 1 strike from right-hander Jaden Harris, looks at a breaking ball up and in, ball 2-1. And the dialogue between Harris and Al Pacino at the end, and the great Alan Arkin along the way. The 2-1 pitch popped up on the left side. Shortstop Spencer Scott on this towering pop fly with the wind playing with it, stays with it to make the catch. 1 away. I didn't see the signal coming in. We don't have two-way communication tonight for some reason, for some obscure reason. The board not behaving properly tonight, so I'm waiting on phone calls from Garrett back in the studio. He calls me when he essentially says, "You're back, the commercials are over, you're on." I can't hear them. I have no other means of knowing when I'm back unless Garrett calls me. The call didn't come in, but I think I might have missed it. So I'm just carrying on anyway. But Garrett, maybe if I don't start in an orderly manner, shoot a text as a backup. Buhanda takes a strike from Jaden Harris. The 0-1 pitch, a ground ball right at Kiko Romero. Kiko runs into the bag himself at first for 2 down here early in the fifth. And now for the first time, Jaden Harris hopes to get through an inning 1-2-3. Buhanda had struck out, walked in his previous plate appearances. And now coming to the plate will be Jack Van Remortel. He took over defensively for Cole Hage. And I'm not sure, I hope Cole's okay. Cole had singled to center and flied out. We see Van Remortel for the first time. It comes in the fifth inning. 6-2 Knights in the top of the fifth. The first pitch to Jack misses low, ball 1. 1-0 the count. Jack Van Remortel out of Carmel, Indiana, plays his college baseball at Michigan. The 1-0 pitch on the way from the Utah Ute. Jaden Harris misses high and inside. 1-1 the count. Trying to see if we have any analytics yet. 98 miles per hour on the exit below for the Loveless homer and a 376-footer. The 2-0 fastball swung on and missed, and the count 2-1 to Jack Van Remortel. Getting some other texts. Check your return level. I have, thank you. All is well on the return level. Maybe right now it's all I can think of. Okay, so we have been off the air evidently, and I didn't know that. The pitch on the way rolled foul. We had a power surge, as the Knights have had tonight, so it's contagious here in the Mid-Valley. We had a power surge that knocked us off the air. The Knights have had a power surge in the form of 3 homers that have given them a comfortable 6-2 lead here in the 5th. So I'm talking on, and may just be talking to myself, but I do a lot of that anyway. A 2-2 breaking ball pulled foul outside of third. It remains 2 balls and 2 strikes. So, again, Dougie, anybody, am I on right now? Doug Blair says off for a couple of minutes, or you're back on now. Okay, thank you, Dougie. You are on, he says. Thank you, Doug. Hope you guys had a nice barbecue last night. As Bob Euchre said, looked like you were having a good time in there. The 2-2 pitch on the way. Got him swinging with a breaking ball. Solid inning for Jaden Harris. He retires the side in order for the first time and gets a strikeout. So we will take a break, even though there's no commercials for a while. Does that mean, John, I should keep talking? The old show, Johnny, that we had in the early days. No commercials for a bit, John says, because of the power surge. I'll text you when you can play commercials. Okay, so rather than just go to dead air, I'll keep things here as we go to the bottom of the 5th inning. A solid inning for Jaden Harris, retiring the side in order. And this gives me an opportunity to at least share with you what took place before the ball game tonight. Now, last night, and I noticed this, I was wondering what was going on in last night's near the end of the game. And you remember me talking about, if any of you were listening closely, I talked about how there were some public safety officers coming into the ballpark and kind of wandering around. A glove was lost or stolen. A young man lost a glove. Young man by the name of Ryan Williams. Ryan is a member of the Corvallis Little League 12 under baseball team who won districts today, beating Kaiser 13-2, and they're off to state. But Ryan Williams lost his glove here in the ballpark last night. And, you know, that's a heartbreaking thing. I mean, to lose a glove, that is tough to deal with. Ryan lost his. The Knights were made aware of it. And Brooke Knight went out on his own and bought the exact glove that Ryan lost and presented the brand new glove and an autographed baseball from the 2022 Knights to Ryan as Ryan was lining up to throw the ceremonial first pitch. Brooke walked out and handed him a glove, and the Knights players down in the bullpen and elsewhere are going to break that glove in for Ryan, and he'll be ready for it at state. Congratulations to the Knights and Ryan Williams. To the bottom of the 5th we go, 6-2 Knights. The right-hander Ryan Lynch goes to work on Knights leadoff hitter Jonah Advincula. And the first pitch missing inside. Now the 1-0 pitch, a strike. 1-1 to Jonah. Breaking ball down and in. Jonah has hit back to the box and bounced into a force play. The hitting conditions have equalized somewhat now on this beautiful summer evening, with pitcher and hitter both now in shadows. The 1-1 pitch from Ryan misses in the turf. The 2-1 pitch, pardon me. It's now 3-1. The top of the order up for the Knights: Jonah Advincula, Spencer Scott, and Kiko Romero against Ryan Lynch. Very pleasant here after a warm day in the Valley. 3-1 pitch, a ground ball fair, back at first, racing to the bag, diving with his hand, getting there just in time, according to the base umpire, is Jack Van Remortel. The potential for a dangerous play. Advincula is called out. Advincula was upset about the call. Brooke Knight has his hands on his hips, staring across the field at the base umpire, who called out Advincula. And Brooke didn't like it at all, and I know Jonah thought he had beaten it as well. That had the potential to be a very dangerous play for the first baseman, Jack Van Remortel. With Jonah burning down the line to try to beat it out, Van Remortel stepped in, or dived in, and stuck the glove out right on the base, and I'm sure he hit the corner of the base rather than plop right on the middle where Advincula was about to plant his foot. So everybody's all right. Advincula a little mad about the call. Spencer Scott, first ball swinging, a pop-up along the third baseline. Ty Saunders comes in to grab it. 2 down in the bottom of the fifth, 6-2 Knights. Kiko Romero, the hitter. Kiko has walked and scored and blasted a 3-run home run in the third. He takes high and away, ball 1 from Ryan Lynch. 3 homers on the night for the Knights, exceeding their total by 1 from what they had in the previous 13 games coming in. The 1-0 pitch to Kiko, in there for a strike, 1-1 the count. Eli Kennel, who has one of them, on deck. 6-2 Knights, bottom of the fifth inning. Ryan Lynch setting a quick tempo. Breaking ball, drilled to deep right center. Daniel Jernan, though, has a play on this one. Goes back on the warning track in right center field to haul it in, but Kiko with another good swing. The inning is over. The Knights go in order, and at the end of 5, Corvallis, well, let's see. I'm about to take a break. Am I back in business or not? Let me see here. We are back, I believe. Okay, well, I believe too. Every time I hear a newborn baby, I believe, and I believe now too in what you say, Garrett. So I'm going to take a break and take that sort of that existential leap and see. It's all I can do, and I've got to do it. We take a break. After 5, a new pitcher coming in for the Corvallis Knights. After 5, the Knights 6 and Bellingham 2 on 1240 Joe Radio.
Thank you. Homemade flour and a gift certificate for a free session at Activity.
Good breeze, thanks, Amy. Hey all!
Ladies and gentlemen, help me welcome to the mound now from Lynn Benton Community College, number 22, pitching for you, Chase Reynolds.
Oh.
Better late than never.
Woo!
Yeah, that was under the car when they went off the air.
Now that emails the designated hitter number 28, Justin Thorstensen.
A new pitcher for the Corvallis Knights. Chase Reynolds replaces Jaden Harris, who had a strong outing, no earned runs through 5. He gives the baseball over to Chase Reynolds, and the first pitch from Chase is very high. Ball 1, 1-0. 6-2 Knights in the top of the 6th inning. Right-hander Chase Reynolds, West Albany graduate, helped Lynn Benton win the NWAC championship this past spring. Delivers to Thorstensen, who takes a big rip and fouls it at the plate. 1 ball and 1 strike. Thank you, Coach. Got a message from Coach Henderson saying now that his guy, and Jaden Harris, who pitched very well, the Utah Ute, Gary says that I've inspired him to go watch Glenn Ross again. Have a good time with it, Gary. I always do. It's one of my go-to films. I always listen to the Alec Baldwin speech when I'm in need of inspiration. The pitch missing high to Thorstensen. Justin now swings at the 2-1 pitch, a major league pop foul off first. Kiko Romero backpedaling and makes the catch. The wind was pushing it the entire way. Kiko read it properly, but then had to kind of gauge the wind and backpedaled, stayed with it, puts it away, 1 away. And Gavin Schultz will be the batter. It did stay fair. But I was doubtful on that front, too, the way the wind's been blowing. The ball started up high as if it might land in the stands. The wind pushed it back to the field of play. Kiko Romero stays with it all the while. Chase Reynolds' big leg kick misses high and inside. Ball 1 to Gavin Schultz. Strong outing for Jaden Harris. Giving up 4 hits, striking out 5, walked 1, both runs unearned. The 1-0 pitch to Schultz misses for ball 2. 2-0 to Gavin, who is grounded out and struck out. Chase Reynolds, an important contributor for Coach Andy Peterson en route to the NWAC championship at LB, delivers high, ball 3, 3-0. Chase making his 4th appearance for the Knights. 5 1/3 innings, 4 hits, 2 runs, both earned, 2 walks, 2 strikeouts. Chase has a save in this young season. He has a 6-2 lead in the 6th. 3-0 pitch down the middle for a strike, 3-1 the count. Reynolds peering in to Jake Lightgib on a gorgeous warm night here in the Mid-Valley. Thanks for joining us. The 3-1 pitch, pop foul off first. This one will stay foul and land on top of the Omaha room down to the right and bounce into Urchin Alley. 3 balls and 2 strikes the count to Gavin Schultz. Glad to know Coach Henderson listening tonight. Gary, a former assistant here, and saw the program in its days just ahead of rising to the national power status that they've enjoyed. He was a big part, was Gary, in recruiting the pitchers that helped lead the Beavers to great heights in Nickerson, Gunderson, and Buck. The 3-2 pitch swung on and missed, strike 3, 2 down. Gavin Schultz inquires of the home plate umpire, did I swing at a strike? And I believe the answer was in the affirmative. 2 down, Jacob Schroeder, the batter. Schroeder has tripled and singled. He scored one of the 2 unearned runs for the Bellingham Bells in the 4th. He swings at the first pitch, a high pop fly on the right side. Second baseman Eli Kennel is there to make the catch. And a good inning for Chase Reynolds. Coming on for Jaden Harris, picks up where Jaden left off. Jaden retired the side in order in the 5th. Reynolds does the same here in the 6th. To the bottom of the 6th we go. It's still the Knights 6 and Bellingham 2 on 1240 Joe Radio.
Harrison at 7-3 here at Corvallis. Arresto Chiropractic has been serving the local community for the last 33 years, caring for their patients' spinal and general health needs. Arresto Chiropractic is also the official chiropractor of the Corvallis Knights.
Hey fans, Amy here on 106.3 Clue FM, playing the most rock in the valley. Woo! Text your song request anytime to 541-926-1818. And now, coming your way, it's the 6th day of song presented by Clue.
No hoodie, Mike.
No, won't need it tonight.
No, I didn't bring a coat either. Yeah, you might need that though. The suntan lotion.
I got a lot of sun earlier.
Hey, Mike, do you have one of those electric pumps to pump your tubes up with?
I do, but I pumped about 30 of them.
Oh. I wouldn't be without it.
It still takes a long time, even with the electric pump.
Yeah.
I probably pumped about 17 or 18. For the rest of the summer, they'll be available for whoever wants to use it.
Coming up now is your second baseman from Oregon State University. Please welcome number 8, Eli Kennel.
Bottom of the 6th inning, the Knights in front, 6-2. Ryan Lynch has done a nice job. He was touched with a home run by Ethan Lovelace to right in the 4th. He retired the Knights in order last inning. Goes to work on Eli Kennel, who blasted a 2-run home run in the 1st, struck out in the 3rd. Eli takes outside from big Ryan Lynch, 1-0 the count. Lynch back to the plate. Kennel swings and fouls it Waldo way. 1 ball and 1 strike the count, and the Urchins are giving mad chase. Good for them. The count now to Eli is no balls and 2 strikes. The first pitch, which was not a strike, was called one. And now the strike 2 pitch is down and away. 1 ball and 2 strikes the count to Eli Kennel. Logan Johnstone on deck with Titus Dumitru to follow. 1-2 to Eli. The sweet swinging incoming freshman to Oregon State takes a big hack at the fastball, staggers a little bit after the swing. He missed it. Down he goes. And Logan Johnstone will come to the plate. That was the type of swing that I've heard and read about. I've not really seen that a whole generation of Yankees fans grew up, in a sense, enjoying from what I've read. Now, perhaps Toussaint Bythewood's father could affirm that. Whether the Mick might have been, I think he may not have seen the Mick in his prime. Let's put it that way. So maybe he couldn't, but he grew up in the Bronx. Did Reggie, from what I read. The pitch to Logan Johnstone rolled foul in the count 0-1. But that Mickey Mantle, in striking out, would swing so mightily from the heels that even a Mickey Mantle strikeout was an event in the house that Ruth built. Johnstone takes outside from Ryan Lynch. 1 ball, 1 strike, 1 out. 6-2 Knights, and a base hit to right field off the bat of Logan Johnstone. Well struck. Jared Buhanda gets the ball back in. Logan Johnstone 1 for 3. Titus Dumitru will come to the plate, and this is a situation where I look for Logan to try to get out and run. You don't like it, you can get out and run. Now that's Jonathan Winters, 1963, maybe to Ethel Merman. Yeah. It's a mad, 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 mad world. I would recommend that, Coach Henderson, over Glenn Gary again. Got to stay up a little later. Titus Dumitru at the plate. Breaking ball misses, ball 1. But this looks like a situation where Logan Johnstone is going to try to get out and run. Can you imagine being a Yankees fan in those days? All those pennants, all the World Series championships. Somebody said it's like rooting for U.S. Steel, right? The 1-0 pitch, fastball up and away, ball 2, 2-0. But the Mick, the grip and the hold that he had on a generation of fans, while not as great as some of the other ball players in the history of the game, injuries kept him perhaps from that loftiest of status. And just in terms of a figure of hero worship, maybe in the top 2 or 3 in the history of American sport. The 2-0 pitch to Dumitru down and away, and it kind of came late too, in that because he was succeeding the elegant Joe DiMaggio, he was booed for a while in New York when he was first breaking in, and it took some big years to finally fully ingratiate Mick with the Yankee fan base. The 3-0 pitch, a strike, and the count 3-1. Logan Johnstone at first, 6-2 Knights in the bottom of the 6th inning. Ryan Lynch comes set. And there goes Johnstone. The 3-1 pitch swung on and fouled away by Dumitru to run the count full to 3-2. Mel Allen once leaned outside the booth at Yankee Stadium when Mickey struck out early in his career, and the fan was giving Mickey the business and booing, and Mel yelled out of the press box in the Bronx and just said, "What are you booing him for?" And the fan yelled back to Mel, "Because he's not as good as DiMaggio." The 3-2 pitch with Logan Johnstone going misses for ball 4. And Dumitru aboard, and the Knights have something going here in the bottom of the 6th inning. They lead it 6-2 and have runners at first and second and 1 out for Ethan Lovelace, who has struck out and had a solo home run in his last at-bat. Mel Allen told that story and then he threw his head back in laughter because the fan had spoken the truth. Eventually, though, Mick won them all over. The pitch on the way to Lovelace, pulled down the right field line in the corner, foul. No balls and a strike. Triple Crown year will do it. All of the home runs in the World Series. The transcendent year of 1957, which some argue he battled some injuries, but the numbers he put up in a smaller sample size because of injuries in 57. Some have argued is the greatest season in baseball history. Logan Johnstone at second, Titus Dimitru at first, Lovelace a chopper wide at first, Van Remortel underhands to Lynch covering at first, just in time for the out, 2 down. On the play, Logan Johnstone to third, Titus Dimitru to second, and Jake Lightgeb will come to the plate. Or Willie. Nope, Kyle Casperson hits for Lightgeb here. And Amy Weiss had noticed she thought that Jake in his last tour of the base paths may have been running on his ground out to short. May have showed a little bit of a hitch, and he did come back and receive in the ensuing half inning. But now Kyle Casperson is in for his first at-bat. It comes in the 6th with the Knights leading 6-2. He takes a first pitch strike. Runners at second and third, and 2 down for Kyle, who's 3 for 12 on the season, takes a breaking ball from Lynch in the turf. 1 ball and 1 strike the count. Kyle looking for his first run batted in with a base hit, would have a chance to pick up a couple here. 6-2 Knights, bottom of the 6th inning. Ryan Lynch set. The 1-1 pitch, swung on and hit foul into Urchin Alley over to the right. Hollywood doesn't do sports films especially well. That's why John Sayles' 8 Men Out is a notable exception. Beautifully crafted film, well acted, tightly written, the acting tremendous, the storyline true to the Elliot Asanoff account and true in most particulars from what I've read. The 1-2 pitch to Casperson, swung on and missed, strike 3. But a sports movie called The Babe Ruth Story with the street urchins in the end singing "Take Me Out to the Ball Game to the Babe" is about as schmaltzy as anything ever written or acted or performed on the silver screen, and yet as cheesy it is, I still cry every time I see it. The Knights leave 2 in scoring position. We go to the 7th, the Knights 6 and Bellingham 2 on 1240 Joe Radio.
Did he get them all into the stands tonight? Okay, good. You must be practicing.
We want to open up the cycle world to people that might not try to cycle. Our mission is really to bring cider back.
Hi fans, this is Corvallis head coach Brooke Knight. Just as a reminder for your own personal safety,
Okay,
be aware that
thank
any
you.
ball or bat may leave the playing field.
God.
And the adjacent areas. Please pay attention while you're enjoying the game. Thank you.
Through 6 innings at Goss Stadium at Coleman Field, the Corvallis Knights 6 runs, 5 hits, and 1 error. Bellingham 2 runs, 4 hits, and 1 error. Both runs for the Bells are unearned. They've scored 6 unearned runs in the 2 games against Corvallis. But the Knights do have a 6-2 lead as we go to the 7th. Chase Reynolds retired the Bells in order last inning, now faces Toussaint Bythewood leading things off. And the first pitch is in there for a strike to Toussaint, who has fouled out to right and struck out. No balls and 1 strike the count to the UCLA commit, Toussaint Bythewood. No balls and 1 strike the count. The 0-1 fastball in there from Chase, strike 2. Chase Reynolds and Kyle Casperson now the battery. Casperson taking over for Lightgeb. The strike 2 pitch hit sharply to Eli Kennel's left. Eli gets it and throws to first for the out. One away. And a nice job by Eli getting in front of that, squaring it up and making the play. One gone. And Ty Saunders, the switch hitting third baseman out of the University of Portland, will step in. He's from Billy King country in Anacortes, Washington. Billy King, a nice career with the Beavers and a legendary career as a member of the Bend Elks from summer to summer. The first pitch to Ty Saunders misses low, ball 1, 1-0. 6-2 Knights, top of the 7th inning. Chase Reynolds, young man out of West, delivers. Breaking ball down and in, ball 2, 2-0. Daniel Jernan on deck. Just mentioning the Babe Ruth story, William Bendix, pride of the Yankees, Gary Cooper as Lou. There has not been a full biopic of the Mick, has there? The 2-0 pitch in there for a strike and the count 2-1. I suppose 61, Billy Crystal's work, is as close as we've gotten to it, but I think it has cinematic qualities, doesn't it? The 2-1 pitch to Saunders hit high into medium right field. Ethan Lovelace with the wind pushing it again at the last moment. Again, had to back up, reach up to make the catch. The wind has been playing heck with the baseball tonight. 2 down and Daniel Jernan the batter. Jernan has struck out and grounded to third. But I'm surprised a little bit at that. I mean, we've seen biopics of a lot of legendary ball players. Mickey Mantle's legend, larger than life to be sure, and I'm surprised. I don't think there's not been a made-for-TV film about the Mick, has there? I know there hasn't been a big screen treatment. Jernan takes a strike, 0-1 the count, 2 down, nobody on. The actor that played Mickey in 61. I mean, he looked like him, he sounded like him. I don't know that actor's name, but I know he ended up doing some sort of show. Man, a nice catch by a fan, just reaching out on that foul ball. Beer in the right hand, caught it with the left hand nonchalantly. Good play. 0-2 the count. He was in some show that I don't need to go into any further detail about. If you know the actor in the show, then you know why I won't go into detail about it. Now the strike 2 pitch, belted to left field, but hooking in the corner, a foul ball. That ball was pummeled by Daniel Jernan, but he got out in front a little bit in the count 0-2. I don't know that actor's name, but he was very good in 61. Barry Pepper was good as Roger in 61. But that actor that I'm referring to, whatever his name is, may be too old to play the Mick now, but there should be. I mean, it's a great story, great American story, rising up out of his father Mutt and his... I think. I mean, I'm surprised it hasn't been done now that I'm, for the first time, kind of thinking about it. Somebody ought to write it and do it. No balls and 2 strikes to Daniel Jernan. 2 down, nobody on in the 7th. The pitch on the way, off speed, swung on and missed, strike 3. And Chase Reynolds has faced 6 and retired 6. We go to the bottom of the 7th. Corvallis 6 and Bellingham 2 on 1240 Joe Radio.
I don't think so. Thank you, Bill. No, I'm good. Yeah, maybe a root beer. A root beer. A root beer. Yeah, tell them it's for me and they'll give it to you. They should give it to you. Thank you.
This is your friendly reminder that the concession stands and mobile ordering will close at the end of this inning. Make sure to get your last minute orders in now.
Hey fans, just wanted to let you know that Special Olympics Oregon will be taking place here at Oregon State at the end of July. And we'd like to say good luck to longtime Knights fan Eli as he participates in his final Special Olympic Games. Good luck, Eli.
Bottom of the 7th inning, the Knights leading the Bellingham Bells 6-2. Ryan Lynch delivers to Timo Becerra, high and inside. 1-0 to Timo, who has walked and grounded to second. Lynch's 1-0 pitch. Timo swings and fouls it off the netting above the on-deck area on the first base side for the Bellingham Bells. The Knights trying to get this series even, render tomorrow afternoon's game a rubber match. 1 o'clock, the first pitch set for tomorrow, and we're expecting temperatures in the mid-90s. Not necessarily right then, but by 2 or 3 in the afternoon. The pitch to Timo misses high and inside. 2-1 the count. And again, by our standards here, that's a scorcher. The 2-1 pitch on the way to Timo, high and inside, ball 3, 3-1. Timo Becerra, Jonah Advincula, and Spencer Scott in the bottom of the 7th inning. The Knights have muscled up tonight with 3 home runs. Timo checks a swing, no swing on appeal, and Timo draws his second base on balls, and that'll bring Jonah Advincula to the plate. Jonah in the leadoff spot tonight, returning from a wrist injury, played late last night and gets the start today. He's 0 for 3, but scored a run in the Knights' 3-run third. That was a 3-run home run for Kiko Romero. Eli Kennel, a 2-run homer in the first. Ethan Lovelace, a solo shot in the fourth. Lynch delivers, and the pitch rocks Advincula back on his heels, up and in, ball 1, 1-0. Spencer Scott on deck. Good crowd. They've had only one that failed to reach the 1,000 mark. It looks to be in the 1,300 range. Good bunt up along the left side, and the pitcher, the third baseman, kind of come together and collide. No play for either, with Saunders bumping into Ryan Lynch. Lynch was reaching down. Saunders was coming hard. They kind of bumped into one another, and there is no play. It'll be a base hit for Jonah Advincula, and a beautifully laid down bunt single. Into second base goes Becerra. Advincula aboard on the bunt single, and now Spencer Scott, the batter. Spencer has grounded to third, singled to left, and popped out. 6-2 Knights, bottom of the 7th, looking to take some insurance with them over the next couple of innings, needing 6 outs to get the series even. Lynch to the plate, and Spencer shows bunt, pulls the bat back and takes outside, ball 1. Advincula appeared to be bunting sacrificially. Spencer Scott certainly is being asked to lay one down in the form of a sacrifice. At least on the first pitch he was. The 1-0 pitch, he is bunting. He takes high. Ball 2, 2-0. Spencer has one of the Knights' 5 sacrifices this season. No one has more than one. 2 balls and no strikes to Spencer Scott. With Timo Becerra at second, Jonah Advincula at first. Good wheels on the bases. Spencer Scott with a count of 2 balls and no strikes. We'll see if it's still on. Ryan Lynch delivers. It isn't. And the fastball is in there for a strike. 2-1 the count. Now with the strike thrown, it could be back on. But a lot of hitters will see their managers and coaches take it off. 2-0. Now 2-1. With the Knights leading 6-2 in the bottom of the 7th inning. Becerra from second, Advincula from first. The bunt is back on. Nicely laid down to the left. Fielding is Lynch, and he throws it away into right field. Timo Becerra scores. And holding at third base will be Jonah Advincula. Into second base goes Spencer Scott. The Knights lead it 7-2 on what I assume will be a sacrifice and E1, enabling Becerra to score. No RBI for Scott. Advincula going all the way to third. Jonah was intent. He wanted to score. And Brooke Knight had to emphatically throw the stop sign up. 7-2 Knights. Runners at second and third and nobody out for Kiko Romero, who has walked and scored, hammered a 3-run homer, and flied to deep right center. Lynch delivers with the infield drawn in. Kiko sprays one foul down the left side and out of play. No balls and a strike to Romero. 7-2 Knights, and have a chance to really bust it right here. Van Remortel, Schultz, Hainline, and Saunders all in at the edge of the green here on the field turf at Goff Stadium at Coleman Field. The pitch to Romero is in the turf. Good block by Jacob Schroeder. 1 ball and 1 strike. The outfield comprised of Toussaint Bythewood in left, Daniel Jernan in center, Jared Buhanda in right. Now the infield plays back at normal depth. They were in, now they're back. The 1-1 pitch on the way to Romero, taken for a strike. The count 1-2. Eli Kennel on deck. Well, I was a little surprised to see them in with nobody out. If they get an out here, then they might bring him back again. The 1-2 pitch swung on and hit foul to the left and out of play. It remains 1 ball and 2 strikes. 7-2 Knights in the bottom of the 7th inning. Been a very warm and pleasant day throughout in the Mid-Valley today. And the breezes have had a comforting effect. They've blown things around a little bit up here, but the breezes feel good. The 1-2 pitch to Kiko, very high. Ball 2, 2-2. The Knights with a 2-run homer in the first from Eli Kennel, a 3-run homer from Kiko Romero in the third, a solo shot from Lovelace in the fourth, and it picked up a run in a different style here in the inning. Good pitch to Romero, breaking ball swung on and missed, strike 3. Kiko goes down on strikes, and that'll bring Eli Kennel to the plate with first base open, and Coach Giesland is on his way out to the mound. And whether he wants to match up here, I think he does. He's got a left-hander ready to come through the bullpen door out in left field. First base is open. Eli Kennel, though, will with back-to-back lefties coming up, it looks as though we'll see a left-hander come on to face the 2 left-handed hitters in Kennel and Johnstone. Lynch, to his credit, is able to get the job done, striking out Kiko. So we'll have a pitching change break here in the bottom of the 7th inning. The Knights have a run, but they're hungry for a couple of more. 7-2 Corvallis, second and third, 1 out when we return on 1240 Joe Radio.
Well, they didn't match up. The right-hander. What trip?
Making that bend trip
Bend? Yeah, I think so.
One-Ord bend.
Yeah, I think so. Good.
Always a good place.
Yeah, I like that ballpark. I like the town. Thank you for the drink.
Oh, hey, no problem.
What's that? Thank you. What's that? It's okay.
Bellingham Bell, number 36, Ryan Scott.
Well, they didn't match up with the lefty. I thought for sure they would. But Coach Gieselin decides to call upon right-hander Ryan Scott from New Brunswick and out of the University of Maine. Good comeback story. Ryan has dealt with, like Mitchell Verberg for the Beavers, a lot of injuries throughout his collegiate experience, but came back to have a good spring in Maine and now a summer out here. A young man from New Brunswick. I've never written that down before for a player. And from a town in New Brunswick that I had never heard of either, and I'm not even sure how to properly pronounce it. But Ryan Scott is in, the big right-hander, to face Eli Kennel with runners at second and third and one out. The Knights leading 7-2. The infield halfway now for the Bellingham Bells. Ryan Scott to the plate. Kennel fouls it at the plate. No balls and one strike the count. Quispamsis, 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 New Brunswick. And that's my best stab at it. No balls and a strike to Eli Kennel. The Knights trying to break it wide open here. Breaking ball from Ryan, bends in for a strike, and he's ahead of the count 0-2. Little King was successful 3 for 3 tonight on the Ramsey Fab t-shirt launch. Maybe the first time all summer that he's gotten all three to stay in the ballpark, but he did have the wind helping him. He was shooting those t-shirts into the wind. No balls and two strikes to Kennel. Infield halfway, second and third, and Kennel chases the fastball. Down he goes. Eli hit a 2-run home run back in the first inning. He struck out 3 times since. 2 down, and Logan Johnstone to the plate with the infield able to return to normal depth. Logan will try to come through with the base hit. That really will put the Knights in great position. They're in a good one now, up 7-2. But they're looking for the knock to create a 7-run lead with just 6 outs remaining. Logan Johnstone with 6 runs batted in on the season, 1 for 3 tonight. Ryan Scott comes set, delivers high, ball 1, 1-0. The Knights have picked up a run in the inning. Jonah Advincula at third, Spencer Scott at second, 2 down. 1 ball and no strikes to Logan Johnstone. Ryan Scott, the third pitcher of the evening for the Bells, delivers a line drive to left. Toussaint Bythewood moves in and over and makes the catch. And a nice job by Ryan Scott. Comes out of the pen and settles things down. The Knights settled for a run but did not get the big knock to really bust it open. We go to the 8th. Before 1,479 tonight. The Knights 7 and Bellingham 2 on 1240 Joe Radio. microphone, soda bottles. You can hear it maybe even through what I'm dealing with up here. It's howling. The pitch on the way to Buhanda pulled foul and the count 1-1. 7-2 Knights in the top of the 8th inning. A leadoff double for Elijah Hainline. Chase Reynolds working on the left-hand hitting Buhanda. Jack Van Remortel on deck. Chase had retired the first 6 Bellingham Bells he faced. Yields the double to open the 8th. The pitch to Buhanda hit foul off to the left and out of play towards Waldo Way. 1 ball and 2 strikes to Jared. A matinee affair tomorrow under the sun, 1 o'clock in the series finale. The Knights hoping that it is indeed the rubber game. A slicing foul ball down the left field line. The ball lands on the TNT Builders party deck in the left field corner. 1,479 looking on tonight. And enjoying the cool of the evening here now under the lights at Goss Stadium at Coleman Field, and a beautiful evening for baseball here in the Mid-Valley. 1-2 the count to Jared Buhanda. Elijah Hainline at second, nobody out. Out of the stretch works Chase Reynolds in his 3rd inning of work. A big lead out at second for Hainline, and he does draw the attention of Chase, who steps back of the rubber. 1 ball and 2 strikes the count to Jared Buhanda. Chase Reynolds peering in. The right-hander looks back now at Hainline. Spencer Scott bird dogging him a little more closely this time around. And the 1-2 pitch misses inside. Ball 2, 2-2 to Buhanda. Jack Van Remortel waiting his turn. The only runs in the game for the Bells were unearned in the 4th. 7-2 Corvallis in the 8th. Hainline bluffs. The pitch on the way to Buhanda, blasted to right and deep. Back on the ball, looking up and saying so long as Ethan Lovelace. It's a 2-run home run, the 4th homer of the night, the first for Bellingham. And just like that, it's now the Knights 7 and the Bells 4. And that lack of the big hit when the Knights had 2 hitters up with a chance to deliver a 2-run single and not getting it, good on Ryan Scott's work, because the ball game has a distinctly different feel than it would have otherwise. Now 7-4, not 9-4. And the batter is Jack Van Remortel. A double and a homer to open the inning. And with the way the wind's blowing out, howling out at times, nothing can be taken for granted, and the lead doesn't feel especially safe. Jack Van Remortel at the plate. 4 homers on the night, 3 for the Knights, and now the Bells get into the act. Reynolds bounces his first pitch, ball 1. 1-0 to Van Remortel, who's had 1 at-bat. He struck out in the 5th inning against Chase Reynolds. 1 ball and no strikes, a double and a homer. Now Chase looking for an out. He still has a 3-run lead. He delivers a strike, and the count 1-1. But Bellingham, a very good club, the hottest team in the league. They have won 10 straight, taking last night's game 8-7 and 11. Breaking ball down and away, and they're trying to pull a page out of the Knights playbook. The Knights trailed all evening long and finally pulled even, steadily coming back, pulled even in the 9th. It's now 7-4 Knights tonight here in the 8th. 2-1 the count to Jack Van Remortel. Now 3-1 the count. Justin Thorstensen, who is capable, I'm told, of hitting a ball over the railroad tracks, based on the Paul Bunyan-esque stories that I was hearing about Justin's power in BP with the Beavers this spring, is on deck. The 3-1 pitch is ball 4, and that's the problem, because now is Thorstensen not going to hit? Doesn't appear as though he will. Brook Knight is on his way out to the mound, so we don't get to see Thorstensen we'll see a hitter, J.R. Freethy, with Brooke Knight going out to the mound to make a move to the bullpen. And as we get J.R. Freethy entered into the lineup card, we will take a 2-minute pitching change break. 2 minutes on the other end, Garrett, with the Knights now trying to hang on. They lead at 7-4, back in 2 on 1240 Joe Radio.
Okay, Brooke needs to win a game. This is what he does. Freethy, yeah. Thank you.
Oh, you'll know that sound. Welcome to the mound now from the University of Hawaii, number 17, Joey.
Sean Weiss summoned out of the bullpen to do his thing and keep this game in order for the Corvallis Knights, who began the top of the 8th inning with a 7-2 lead. It's now 7-4 with a man at first for the Bells and nobody out. Sean Weiss comes out of the bullpen to try to finish the job. He's making his 6th appearance. 11 2/3 innings for Sean. 3 hits, no runs, no walks, 13 strikeouts. A record of 2-0 with a save. Phenomenal numbers for Sean, who will take his talents to the University of Hawaii at the end of this Corvallis Knights season. He goes to work against pinch hitter J.R. Freethy, and the first pitch to J.R. is lifted foul into Urchin Alley. The Urchins are there in good numbers now. And a count of no balls and a strike to Freethy, who played 8 games for the Nevada Wolfpack this spring. I don't remember calling his name in the 2 games, the Wild games the Beavers played there in late March against Nevada. The strike 1 pitch from Sean is in there for strike 2. 0-2 to J.R. Freethy. Pinch hitting for Justin Thorstensen. 7-4. The Knights in front in the top of the 8th inning. Jack Van Remortel at first and nobody out. Sean set, the strike 2 fastball away. 1-2 the count. J.R. Freethy pinch hitting. Freethy 5'11", 180. Yeah. And headed east to play at Nevada. 1-2 to J.R. Freethy. 2 runs in the inning. Elijah Hainline, a leadoff double. Jared Bohanda, a 2-run home run. A walk to Jack Van Remortel. Enter Sean Weiss, who delivers the strike 2 pitch hit high in the air to right. A wind-blown fly ball. Ethan Lovelace stays with it to make the catch. in fair territory and medium right, one away. And a good job by Sean to get the first out of the inning. And that'll bring to the plate Gavin Schultz, the right-hand hitting second baseman. The Knights have used Jaden Harris, who was outstanding. Chase Reynolds, good through the first two, faltered a little bit here in the eighth. And now Weiss. And Sean would be the guy to try to bring it home, it would appear, with the Knights up 7-4 in the eighth. Sean delivers a chopper towards third. Becerra goes to Kennel for one to first, not in time. Eli was not quick on the transfer, but an out recorded, and that is what matters here now. The fielder's choice, 5-4, 2 down, and Jacob Schroeder the batter. Schultz runs well. It was going to take a very quick transfer and turn on Eli's part. Good throw, but just a half a tick too late. And now we'll see a pinch hitter here for Bellingham. Jacob Schroeder being lifted for Colin Blanchard, who steps in. Schroeder had a triple and a single, and I'm a little surprised that they match up left on left here. 7-4 Knights in the eighth. Schroeder, a right-handed hitter. Now a ground ball to the right of Kennel, knocks it down, picks it up, and shovels to second. Not in time. Eli Kennel, and a ground ball to his right, got to it, but did not field it cleanly, and that enables another hitter to come to the plate representing the tying run. That'll be an error on Eli Kennel, with Colin Blanchard hitting a ground ball that should have been the third out of the inning. And so pinch hitting for Toussaint Bythewood for the Bellingham Bells. Trying to get the number right. It's Teo Banks pinch hitting, young man out of Tulane. Teo Banks steps in representing the tying run. Sean Weiss, who is not allowed a run this season, hoping to keep it that way as he ponders his first pitch, reading Kyle Casperson. The pitch to Teo, swung on and pulled foul, outside of third and down the line. A good thing, too, if it's fair, then it's a one-run ball game. No balls and a strike to Teo Banks, hitting for Bythewood here in the top of the eighth inning, with the Knights leading 7-4. Gavin Schultz at second. Colin Blanchard at first, 2 down. No balls and a strike to Teo Banks, the third pinch hitter of the inning for Coach Gieselin's Bellingham Bells. 7-4 Corvallis. Sean works out of the stretch. The lefty out of Canby delivers, fouled over my head into Urchin Alley, into the bicycle rack area. Well played by a young girl, looks to be about 11 or 12, beat everyone to it and has herself a baseball. Running away triumphantly with it. No balls and 2 strikes. Sean Weiss looking for the final out of the inning and trying to keep the lead at 3. The Bells have cut the lead to 3 on a 2-run home run in the inning by Buhanda. Now 2 on and 2 out. Sean's strike 2 pitch sliced down the right field line. The wind pushes it, but it will stay well out of play and on to Casey Corner in the right field corner. It remains no balls and 2 strikes. I think you can hear the wind playing havoc now with an original lineup card that was not properly weighted down and blew towards our microphone. No balls and 2 strikes with 2 away. Warm, beautiful summer evening. Sean Weiss trying to keep the Knights in command in this one. Big situation right here. First and second, 2 down. Teo Banks down in the count, 0-2. Sean kicks and delivers. Fastball, got him swinging. The inning is over, and Sean Weiss does his thing again. Comes out of the bullpen and gets the 3 big outs. And the Bellingham Bells leave 2. They do score 2 and close within 3. We go to the bottom of the 8th. The Knights 7 and Bellingham 4 on 1240 Joe Radio.
comes into these high pressure situations. He's the one that's really helped him develop. That's great. Kevin.
Leading the Bellingham Bells 7-4. Another tremendous job by Sean Weiss out of the bullpen. Sean's mother Amy was telling me that Sean, learning at the feet of the great Oregon State relief pitcher Kevin Gunderson through the years, at Kevin's pitching camp, and that Sean owes a great deal to his development, the opportunity he's getting now at the University of Hawaii, to all the work that he's done with the great left-hander Kevin Gunderson, who was one of the key contributors to the Beavers winning it all in 2006, was on the mound when the final out occurred at Rosenblatt. Titus Dimitru takes the first pitch from Ryan Scott down and away. Ryan comes back and misses again. 2-0 to Titus, who is grounded out, struck out, and walked. 7-4 Knights in the bottom of the 8th inning. Ryan Scott did an excellent job himself out of the bullpen in the bottom of the 7th. Bounces his 2-0 pitch, though, here. 3-0 to Dimitru. Ethan Lovelace on deck, Kyle Casperson to follow. 3-0 to Titus Dimitru, our pregame show guest. Really enjoyed getting to visit with Titus, a young man who making the most of his opportunity coming out of Barlow High School. The 3-0 fastball taken, down and away, ball 4. Dimitru trots to first base with the 4-pitch leadoff walk. Ethan Lovelace, the batter. Ethan has struck out, homered, and grounded out. Brooke Knight going through the signs at third. And we'll see if Ethan might be asked to try to lay one down. He does not have a sacrifice. Titus Dimitru getting his lead from first. Lovelace not bunting. Takes low and in. Ball 1. 1-0. Brooke lays another set of signs out. Dimitru, a good runner over at first base. 3 for 3 in stolen bases. Brooke might want to turn Dimitru loose to try to get the Knights in scoring position without a bunt. And the 1-0 pitch. Big jump for Dimitru. Breaking ball foul back. Lovelace thought he had a pitch he could handle. It's too bad that's a situation there with a 1-0 count. Ethan had a little bit of liberty there and room to take a pitch. But he's hitterish. He's up there to hit. He fouled it back. Dimitru would have gone in standing had he needed to at second. Now the count 1-1. 7-4 Knights, bottom of the 8th inning. And the runner goes again. The pitch is swung on and missed. And into second base. Not a foul ball. Swung on and missed by Lovelace. Dimitru gets his bag after all. A stolen base on the swing and a miss, and the ball glancing off of the mitt of the catcher for Bellingham, Colin Blanchard. So now an opportunity for Lovelace to at least get Dimitru moved. And he will, with a ground ball slowly to first. Fielded by Van Remortel, who steps on the bag for the out. One away. Good job, though, by Lovelace, getting his task accomplished. The ground ball on the right side. Dimitru advances to third. Kyle Casperson, the batter. Bottom of the 8th inning, 7-4 Knights. They would love to get another run here. Jace Phelan is now playing first base, no longer Jack Van Remortel, so the third first baseman of the night for Coach Geesland's Bellingham Bells. The infield in. The first pitch hits Kyle Casperson in the small of the back, and Kyle heads down to first. So runners at the corners for Timo Becerra, with the Knights looking to add to their 7-4 lead here in the second game of the series. Ty Saunders, Daniel Jernan, and Elijah Hainline, the scheduled hitters in the top of the 9th inning for the Bellingham Bells. Casperson hit by the pitch. Seems to be no worse for the wear as he visits with Ed Nags, the first base coach. The Knights with runners at the corners and one out. The Bells will play their infield now at double play depth. Timo Becerra, who has walked, grounded out, walked again, and scored, stands in. He shows bunt. Safety squeeze maneuver perhaps in Brook Knight's mind. Pulls the bat back and takes down and away. 1 ball and no strikes. 7-4 Knights in the bottom of the 8th inning. Most of the work accomplished on long balls tonight for the Knights. A 2-run homer in the first from Eli Kennel, a 3-run homer from Romero in the third, a solo shot from Ethan Lovelace in the fourth. Becerra swings and a line drive, base hit into center field. Dimitru scores. Casperson stops at second. Timo Becerra, an RBI single to center, and the Knights lead it 8-4. Jonah Advincula will be the hitter. Jonah, a bunt single last inning. And that helped the Knights score a run. They picked up another one here in the 8th, lead it 8-4, have 2 on and 1 out for Jonah. Scott delivers, and the fastball misses high and away, ball 1-0. Looking forward to getting to meet all of the guys at some point during the course of the summer, and that would include a conversation with Jonah Advincula. The pitch on the way to Jonah, down and in, ball 2-0. Advincula had a very good spring at the University of Redlands. 28 stolen bases, scored 54 runs, had 65 hits in 39 games, 28 bags. He swings and hits one foul to the left and out of play. 2 balls and 1 strike. In an era at the major league level, and we've been in that era for quite a long time now, just to see that many stolen bases is refreshing, encouraging. Old school enough to remember, Maury Wills' revolution in the National League in the 60s when he reinvented the art of stealing. The 2-1 pitch to Jonah, a fly ball to left field. Moving in and under to make the catch is Teo Banks. 2 down in the inning, and that'll bring to the plate Spencer Scott. Spencer has grounded to third, singled to left and scored a run, popped out and had a sacrifice bunt last inning. Got aboard on an error after the sacrifice on the throw from Ryan Lynch. Now Ryan Scott touched for a run here in the inning. 8-4 Knights in the bottom of the 8th. Delivers high and inside to Scott to Spencer. 1 ball and no strikes. 8 runs, 8 hits, 2 errors for the Knights. 4 runs, 6 hits, 2 errors for Bellingham. The Knights 3 outs away from getting the series even, giving them a chance to keep their series streak of wins alive. They haven't lost a series yet this summer. Sweeping the first 3, winning 2 of 3 from Walla Walla, and hoping to be in a position to win 2 of 3 from the Bells. The pitch to Scott, high and inside, ball 2-0. Spencer Scott granted time, something Kind of got into his eye, evidently. It's been blustery, and that might even be kicking up some particles even around the home plate area at times. The trees blowing in the wind in straightaway center field. The 2-0 pitch to Spencer, a strike, and the count 2-1. The Knights trying to cool off these red-hot Bells who had swept their previous 3 series and won last night, but the Knights lead this one 8-4. The pitch is high and inside on the 2-1 pitch, and racing into third base seemed to be some indifference shown. Kyle Casperson steals it on Ryan Scott with very little activity at second to hold him on. So Casperson into third, holding at first base Timo Becerra. Meanwhile, a count of 3 balls and a strike to Spencer Scott with Kiko Romero on deck. Ryan Scott to Spencer Scott in there for a strike, and the count goes full to 3-2. Spencer, I think, judging by his body language as he steps out of the box, thought the pitch was inside. Now climbs back in with a count of 3-2. Timo Becerra will take off on the pitch. Casperson at third, Becerra at first, 2 down. Timo goes, the 3-2 pitch punched in the air to shallow right but playable. Gavin Schultz goes back, makes the catch, and the Knights settle for a run. But they do get one to take with them to the top of the 9th inning. Through 8, the Knights 8 and Bellingham 4 on 1240 Joe Radio.
Cloudy. Woo!
Surprised nobody said Under Armour.
That's true. Yeah, given their...
Please.
I heard that.
Top of the 9th inning at Goss Stadium at Coleman Field. The Corvallis Knights with an 8-4 lead, and the redoubtable Sean Weiss on the bump to try to bring it home. Sean is in line for a save if he's able to finish the job. The Knights picking up an insurance run for him and themselves as we go to the 9th. 8-4, a little past 9 o'clock on this warm, gorgeous evening here in the Mid-Valley. Sean Weiss delivers a first pitch strike. And the count, no balls and 1 strike. Trying to figure out, I don't know if this is Ty Saunders or yet another pinch hitter. Nope, it is the switch hitting Ty Saunders staying in the game. Ty has fouled out, had a 2-run single, and fly to a breaking ball in there. Strike 2, 1-2 to Ty. Daniel Jernan, the on-deck hitter for Bellingham in the top of the 9th inning. The Knights got out early as the Bells did last night. Sean delivers, swung out and missed for strike 3. Kyle Casperson's throw to Kiko Romero is in time for the putout. The pitch down on the turf. Back-to-back strikeouts for Sean. And the batter will be Daniel Jernan with 1 away. The Bells jumped out last night on the Knights 3-0, eventually led 7-1. The Knights chipped away and tied it in the bottom of the 9th before falling 8-7 in 11. the Bells have not been able to form a similar comeback. Ground ball slowly up along third, barehanded by Becerra. He flips to first, but not nearly in time. Daniel Jernan, an infield single. With Timo Becerra playing deep in a no doubles defense, and did a good job to get to the ball, barehanded and through, but had no shot on Jernan. A one-out single, Elijah Hainline, the batter. Elijah has struck out, flied to right, popped to short, and doubled down the left field line last inning. The pitch on the way, fastball, Sean delivers, swung on and missed, 0-1 the count. Jared Buhanda, who homered last inning, on deck. 8-4 Knights, top of the ninth inning. The strike one pitch, a fly ball to right field. Ethan Lovelace going back, reaches up on the warning track and makes the catch. 2 down. That ball was hit very well, and a good job by Ethan managing the warning track, the fence, the wind blowing it out, and did a good job to go back and get it. 2 down in the top of the ninth inning. Weiss and the Knights are a out away from getting the series even. Jared Buhanda, the batter, a 2-run home run last inning to make it 7-4. Now 8-4 Knights. Buhanda, a line drive to right at Lovelace. Ethan squeezes it, and that's the ball game. The Knights win it 8-4 to get the series even, and we'll have a rubber game tomorrow. 8 runs, 8 hits, 2 errors for the Corvallis Knights. 4 runs, 7 hits, 2 errors for Bellingham. And the Knights have a chance to keep their series win streak alive. They haven't had a series loss yet this year, and they have a chance to keep that streak intact tomorrow afternoon under the sun. And it'll be a single game tomorrow, 12:50. The protest will not take place, so the Knights have decided to drop that, from what I understand, and we'll have a 1 o'clock game tomorrow with a 12:50 pregame show. And we hope to talk to one of the Knights players tonight, and probably Jaden Harris, get a chance to visit with him for the first time. We've had Kiko Romero on already, and Eli Kennel. Haven't had a chance to talk to Ethan Lovelace yet, but we will. But perhaps Jaden tomorrow. We'll be on the air again at 12:50 with a pitch a little after 1 o'clock for the rubber game between the Knights and the Bellingham Bells. That's going to do it for us here tonight. We appreciate you joining us. Again, our final score, Corvallis pulls even in the series with an 8-4 victory, and the Knights maintain their lead in the West Coast League's South Division. They started with a 1-game lead over Bend, and Bellingham maintains a lead in the North even with the defeat. The Bells now 14-5, the Knights at 12-2, and these two outstanding clubs will settle the series tomorrow. The Knights won at 8-4, and we'll settle it tomorrow. We hope you'll join us. For Garrett Dworshak, this is Mike Parker from Goss Stadium at Coleman Field on this beautiful summer night before 1,479. The Knights 8 and Bellingham 4. See you tomorrow under the sun on 1240 Joe Radio. So long, everybody.